We've all seen the headlines. We think we understand these stories. A missing girl, a boyfriend on the run, a tragic ending. But what if that's not the full story? What if the truth was there the whole time and we just didn't recognize it? The truth is, not everything is what it seems. Behind every story, there's more than what we're told. This is where we ask the questions others avoid, where we say the quiet parts out loud. This is Unspoken Truths Unfiltered, the truth about control.
Hey guys, Beth Justice here.
And Autumn Cross.
Welcome to Unspoken Truths Unfiltered.
We are so excited you're here. We have worked really hard starting this brand and building an awesome outline of episodes for you guys.
And you're going to get a little of everything. You'll have the true crime, and we're also going to break down the why behind the true crime, where we go beyond the headlines to uncover the truths we often missed, or, sweep under the rug, or take it out back and hide it in the woods, or shove it under the bed, or, cover it up with some dirt. No, but seriously, we're both from the South, and that is common, to sweep things under the rug, to not talk about it.
Pretend like everything is okay.
When deep down, it's anything but okay. The truth is, we don't always recognize danger when it looks like love, because sometimes it doesn't first look like violence. It looks like, lust or devotion.
Looks like passion. Never comes up in the beginning as violence. It never shows itself as violence in the beginning. It's passion, intensity, a couple working through things.
Yeah, it sounds like she's just being emotional, or he just really cares about me, or he's just really making sure that I'm okay. He's just stressed out. Like all of these explanations that we make for how control starts to come into the relationship. And I know most of us have been in relationships like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We've definitely seen them in other people if we haven't been in it. But I'm telling
Right.
you that I personally have been there.
Same. Yes, absolutely.
So it's not something that's uncommon for us. It's something that we can relate to because we have been there. I think about times in my life when something was going wrong and I knew it right away. Like that gut moment, I could feel it, but I would just explain it away and say, oh, this is his personality. Do you know what I mean?
I absolutely do. Yes. This is what he really loves me. And this is just him having a bad day or didn't look bad.
Yeah. Yeah. All about appearances. And if other people don't think it's unusual, you start to pretend it's not unusual, and then convincing other people to believe that this fairy tale is what's happening. Especially as women, I feel like. Don't you think?
We're taught to keep the peace, to smooth things over, to sweep it under the rug, especially in the South. We often take responsibility for the energy in the room.
Yeah.
That's especially as mothers as well.
Right?
You're
Because
just programmed.
right, you're just trained that way. I think that probably started with our parents in the 50s, of like this Betty Crocker, perfect life looking Stepford wives kind of
Yes.
thing. And so you're trying to pretend that this is happening in your relationship and that you have the most picturesque
Yeah.
life. That brings us to our case for this episode, which is a case that still bothers me, will always bother me. We both have talked about this case over and over again, and it's the story of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. Both Autumn and I have had the pleasure of actually meeting Gabby's parents, and it doesn't even begin to change what I felt immediately after learning the story before I met them. It just solidified that thought. Let's just give you a backstory if you don't know about Gabby. She was 22 years old. She was creative. She was bright. She was trying to build a life, documenting van life with her boyfriend, then turned fiance, Brian Laundrie. Brian was 23. He was only a year older. He was quiet. He was intense. And so they were, this was a young love,
Yes.
really early on. And they reconnected shortly after high school. And things started moving really fast. His parents were in Florida, so she ended up going down to Florida to live with him, and they got engaged. And they were living together, and somebody must have had the idea, like, let's go
Travel.
travel the country. Let's go in a 8x8 van and live our lives together. We're laughing right now because we both camp with our families.
We can't imagine living in a van with our families, documenting it, traveling cross country.
I mean, I wanted to be that.
Same,
But
same.
after one trip, I was like, ain't gonna happen.
Hard pass.
So from the outside, though, it looked like a dream for Gabby and Brian because they were getting to like go off on their own, explore the unknown, and put it all on social media. But there was some things that were going on behind the scenes, right?
Yeah. There were cracks. You could tell that they were having issues in their relationship. It wasn't just passionate. It was volatile. Friends said later that they argued often. There was tension. Controlling behavior was present as well.
Yeah. And that's, I think what you start to see, the very, very beginnings of that control sneaking in. I'm sure there were moments right then that she thought, oh boy, what am I doing? Or, am I doing the right thing with this guy?
Or maybe we're just on the road too long, or we need a break from the road. We're living in a van. I mean, that's taxing as it is, if, you can imagine. She was probably trying to hold everything together. Her social media posts were often, joyous and fun and super cute, but you could see that she was trying to keep it together, and she enjoyed the spotlight as well, and you could tell that he didn't enjoy it as much.
Yeah, you could see it. Like I remember one video in particular where she was like talking about how the rain would get into the tent when it was cold, and she'd be like, "There's Brian doing this," and he could just had no expression, like he was like, "Nah, this isn't."
No.
Which I guess is understandable sometimes, but not if that's what you're doing with your life, making content while traveling the country. And from the outside, people don't see that though. They see the highlight reel. They see the
social media perception.
Yeah, the TikTok posts and the Instagram feeds, and it looks so beautiful. They don't see when the camera cuts. We're going to take a break, and when we're going to come back, we're going to talk about when everything shifted in this case. And then the moment we all saw, August 12th, 2021, in Moab, Utah, a 911 call comes in. And it was quite
disturbing.
Grant County Sheriff's Office.
Were you able to get a description of the intoxication?
Hi, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, I'm calling. I'm right on the corner of Main Street by Moonflower, and we're driving by, and I'd like to report a domestic dispute. Florida with a white van, Florida license plate, white land, gentleman,
Where's
about
it at?
5'6", beard. They just drove off. They're going down Main Street. They made a right onto Main Street from Moonflower.
Or what were they doing?
Cooperative, but what do you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by, and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off.
The call came in as Brian and Gabby were driving through Moab on their way over to Wyoming.
Turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dash for me, all right? What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
I'm Brian. Gabby, Brian? Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm sorry, we've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It was a long day. We were camping yesterday, and camping got stuff, flies and stuff. I'm sorry I hit the bump there.
I was distracting him from driving. I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me, man?
Yeah.
Just hang tight right there. Do you mind if I take your keys and just put them on your hood?
You got it, buddy. I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you. Oh, no, you're fine. I'm going to go ahead and close your door, okay? Why don't you come over here? SO229, I have the female that was in the passenger seat separated from the male. Keys are on the hood. You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, some days I have really bad OCD, and
Okay.
I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD, and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him, I just I guess my vibe is I for me. I remember being like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I used to work at an organic juice bar, but I just quit my job.
Okay.
I was a nutritionist. That's my
That's
job.
cool.
And I just quit my job to travel across the country. And I'm trying to start a blog. I just have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed. And he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like a, I don't know, he's like down there. I don't know. We've just been fighting all morning. And he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
Why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of your OCD?
He told me I needed to calm down. Yeah. But I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time. And he really stresses me out. And this is a rough morning.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in the back seat of my car? You're not in any trouble, okay? I'm not going to be putting handcuffs on you. You obviously don't have any weapons. I'm going to get you into the air conditioning, let you take a breath, relax a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty. So, tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her. So, like, I locked the car and I walked away from her. What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog and everything. So I give her time. And we really had a nice morning, if anything. But she just got worked up because we were trying to get going and get our day going because we want to go like arches before this stuff like that.
Okay. You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
She had a cell phone in her hand. That's why I was pushing her away, because she wanted me. I locked the keys so I could walk away. I said, let's just take a breather and let's not, go anywhere. Let's just calm down for a minute because she was getting really worked up. And then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys from me, so I got in the way. I was just trying to. I know I shouldn't push, but I was just trying to push her away to go. Let's just take a minute, step back, and breathe. And she got me with her phone.
Can I see your hand? Oh, you got a mark right here.
Oh, that's from a wire.
That's from a wire?
Yeah.
You want to tell me about hitting that curb?
Hitting the curb was her grabbing the wheel.
She grabbed the wheel?
Yeah. She said, I can't believe we're getting pulled over, and then she grabbed the wheel.
What about the speed? Did she take over the...
No, I
take over the pedal on you?
If I was going fast, I'm sorry. No, it's probably just the moment of, like, I'm still shaking now. The adrenaline, seeing the lights flashing up, and then her grabbing the wheel. So if I sped up, I'm sorry about that. Or if I was speeding beforehand, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it took quite a bit to catch up to you. So,
yeah. I'm sorry about that. We're just going into the park again to get water because we have a 6-gallon water container to fill up. So we're just grabbing water for the hike.
She's saying that they don't drink, but at the point when you lit them up,
You don't drink or anything.
She started hitting him.
Yeah, I was yelling at him, and then when you turned your lights on, I kind of punched his arm like there's no.
she's saying like hit the curb. You said it was Gabby?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I remember that name. It was Gabby?
Yeah.
Try to meditate stuff, but you tend to have a lot of anxiety and stress.
I have a lot of anxiety.
And what's his name? Is it Brian? Is he usually pretty patient with you?
Yeah. But it just makes me upset. I know that he definitely gets frustrated with me a lot.
You said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch the steering wheel?
I didn't touch the steering wheel, but only for like a second, because I just saw the lights come on, and it was more just like, you're an idiot. Like,
But did you grab the steering wheel and like
No.
swerve or anything like that?
No. I didn't touch the steering wheel at all.
So it was just more of a disagreement, and I just wanted to.
What was the disagreement about?
It was. I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just that I'm dirty and I can't change being dirty. Like I got dirty feet, I got sand on my flip-flops and stuff like that. It was that we were at the coffee shop for so long because we were there from 9 to 3. So yeah, there's a few little things, little relationships. I don't know if you're in a relationship, but I'm sure you
I've been married for over 5 years now. So.
There's a lot of little things. Right?
Yeah, I can go.
And
I get it.
We really we weren't physical before the point where I said, all right, let's just take a breather and like walk away for a minute. I'll lock the van up and I'll go for a walk this way, and you can go walk that way in the block. There's that what is it called, Moonflower?
Right.
Yeah, nice areas. You can go either way. It's all shaded. So let's go for a little walk and breather. Come back. Just breathe. Yeah, we're happy with it. I'm not upset with her. She got worked up and she had a phone in her hand and the keys and everything. And she wanted, not her keys, her rings. She had her rings, her phone. And I was holding on to the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere. And my big fear is, I don't have my phone. I don't have a phone. So she goes off without me with a car. I'm on my own. So I was saying, let's just go for a walk, and she was trying to get the keys for me. So I was just going, hey, just wait, back up, and that's when she hit me. And I didn't get. I don't want to push you, but I didn't get overtly physical. I was just trying to keep her away and not get hit. And then I got really loud, and like that's probably drew everyone's attention where I was going, back up, get away, just give me a.
Okay, so you said you pushed her to create some distance, obviously, right? What happened after that? What got the scratches on your eye?
The phone.
The phone. So you pushed her and she hit you?
She was. It wasn't like a push and she jumped on me. She was already. I don't want to. She was already swinging and I was.
Multiple.
Yeah. A lot of angles, a lot of nails, a lot of rings.
Yeah. You got 3 scratches on your neck. You got one on your left side of your nose. You got one in your face here, and you got 4 bleeding over there. So you just try to. So it looks like 2 hands coming in.
Do you mind lifting up your right sleeve for me? I'm curious about something.
It's a little bit of nails. I suppose fingernails, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about fingernails.
Is it bruised or tender or anything like
that?
No.
Okay. I'm fine, and I love Gabby. I hope she doesn't have too many complaints about me. I'm just, I feel bad I think it's so public. I was just trying to be loud to listen. This is, try to make her calm down and be like, look, everyone's watching. And like, stop this.
I was thinking about how his face, like she's, sobbing and crying and in the cop car, and he's just kind of like talking like he's with the boys, kind of like, oh, she's okay, and I just got a couple scratches, but it's all right. Everything's okay.
Yeah, and she was visibly upset.
Yeah.
Very upset.
And the part that really sticks with me is she says she has anxiety. She's saying she has a problem. It was her fault. She got worked up in the car. She grabbed him and he swerved. And that's exactly, she created this whole issue, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes me think about being a woman. How often do I say, I'm so sorry, even though I know in my heart that like it wasn't my fault.
Right. Same. Yes, absolutely.
To keep the peace.
Keep the peace. Yeah. This is the part that haunts me, though, is everything that we needed to know was there, right there in that video. It was right there. And still, so many people saw that, including trained professionals, and interpreted her as being the unstable one and not in any danger. And she was the aggressor. So,
do you think that was because of she was so emotional, maybe? Did that play in, and that he was so together?
Well, aren't women usually highly emotional?
I hate that when you're at a job and someone's like, oh, you're just emotional. It's like, no, I'm pissed off.
That's right. I'm entitled to my feelings.
We have more feelings as women. That's just the way we're built.
That is the way, and that's how we carry babies.
I sometimes wonder, I don't know if there was a female cop on that patrol car, but if there were, maybe they would have seen something that male police officers might not have seen.
Maybe.
Everything she's saying is the same thing. I haven't heard what he said, but if that's what he said, it's also what the witness is saying. The witness says, I never saw him hit her. I saw him shove her, but I couldn't tell if it was an aggression against her or a defense against her, as far as her, being the aggressor. So at this point, unless the guy's screaming that he needs to go to jail and did something to this girl, it sounds to me like she is the primary aggressor.
Yeah.
Now,
it ends up being there's no charges. The police send Brian off to a hotel, and they send Gabby to a place to get a hot shower and spend the night, and say they both need to cool it.
Separate.
And take a night off.
Yeah, separate. They chalk it up to a mental health issue.
Yeah.
Something that I do, that I emphasize to him, and I don't know if I emphasize to you or not, don't text each other tonight. He wants to pass on the same message you passed to him. He's really looking forward to talking to you again, but I told him and you, unless there's earth-shattering emergency news, don't text tonight, okay? Even with the good nights, I love you. He's saying good night now. He's saying he loves you now, and you guys can talk tomorrow morning, okay? He's going to go to the hotel. I'm going to give you the keys to the van. Morning, what you want to have. Alrighty? So, here's that. I'm giving him a ride over to the hotel, okay? So, everything's going to be okay.
Will it be a far drive for me to get him in the morning? I'm just curious.
I'm not going to tell you where he's going to be at tonight. Like I said, I want you guys to be separated. But I can tell you this.
I just don't usually drive the van, so I just want to make sure it's not like far away.
No. It's
Okay.
It's basically from here to Moonflower.
Okay.
Okay? It's not far at all. So, let's get you in the van. Let's get you on your way, alrighty? You want that Gatorade, by the way?
Okay.
You got enough water? Also, something I want you to know. Here, stand over here real fast for me. If you go over to City Market, they have a list of places where you can get yourself a shower for like $4 or $5, something like that. They're pretty cheap. A place where you can shower, decompress, de-stress a little bit, alrighty?
Yeah, I just showered yesterday at one of those.
Well, you didn't have today happen yesterday, so it does my wife wonders. So when she gets stressed out, it's like, get in the shower. Come on, just get in the shower.
Really relaxing.
Go take a shower, relax, take some time for yourself. And like I said, don't text each other tonight. Text each other tomorrow morning after your eyes open up and you're fully awake, had your coffee, your morning routine, okay? All right, Gabby. You have a good night, okay?
Thank you.
2 weeks later, Gabby is gone. Her family starts getting strange texts. Brian returns home with the van, alone. He's not talking. He doesn't cooperate. The police even go to his house to ask him some questions. But his parents shut it down. They politely tell them to leave, and they close the door. Days later, he also disappears.
And this point, working in the media is where I'm just going like, what is going on?
Same.
Like, something is messed up and that story's not going to end well. And I remember feeling so upset for those families of like, because they didn't know where Gabby was yet.
No.
Still, they're looking for her. There's a FBI investigation and they're searching for Gabby. And he's back home. She's gone, but he won't talk to her parents. The Laundries won't talk to her parents. Nothing. No one's getting any answers. And I think the part that people get really, really angry at those parents at the Laundries is because of that, they get so frustrated I'm still frustrated, fired up right now, but the truth is that out from the outside, it looks like those parents were trying to help protect him, right?
But if you zoom out for a second, just take a beat. We're parents. We don't actually know what they knew, even though people were so upset.
Yeah.
So, or when they knew it.
And thinking, what would I do as a parent if that same thing happened to me? I guarantee you I can say now that I would want to help my child.
Absolutely.
I like to think that I wouldn't, I could be bigger than that, but it's inside of you.
Yes.
To protect your child. And that's uncomfortable because I think a lot of us want to believe we do the right thing no matter what happened. But when it's your child, it's just not that simple of a decision anymore.
That's so true.
It's the truth.
So we don't know if they were hiding something, if they were doing something wrong. We don't know. No one knows to this day. All we know is that it doesn't make it right, but it makes it human. We're not saying any of this is right. We're just telling you the truth, simply, what we know.
Amen. That's exactly it. We're all humans. And we're all dealing with information at very fast pace and reacting as best as we can.
Yes.
And that is clearly what was happening through this period, this terrible period for these two families.
Absolutely. I can't even imagine. I can remember watching on TV, watching her search.
Yeah.
And just every day, what I felt as a parent for this family. And I felt outrage at Brian and his family, but.
Yeah, me too. I felt so angry. I was like, what a piece of,
Yeah, just at least tell them. Just tell them. But
looking back now and having all this time to kind of piece it together is that there really are no winners. These are just families trying to make sense of something that should have never happened in the first place.
A tragedy.
We're going to begin with the news alert just in from the Teton County coroner in Wyoming, confirming the body found in Grand Teton National Park is Gabby Petito, and she was killed. Her death now ruled a homicide. This comes as the search remains ongoing for Gabby's fiancé, Brian Laundrie.
September 19th, 2021, Gabby is found, and the cause of death is blunt force trauma followed by strangulation. Weeks later, authorities found the remains of Brian Laundrie and he was in a Florida natural reserve. Next to him, they found a notebook. And that notebook is so powerful in the story, but maybe given a little too much power than what it really is, which is his account of what happened, right?
He claims Gabby was hurt, that she was in pain, and that what he did was mercy, that he was doing her a favor, that he, quote, I ended her life. I thought it was merciful, end quote.
I mean, it's hard to see that notebook because I just feel like it's total bullshit.
I think it is too. And what's sad is, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you choke somebody, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
To choke somebody. Mutilation is a very horrific.
Yeah, and he was saying that
way
she
to
hurt
die.
herself. I think it was her wrist was hurt, but then
Yes.
she like fell into a creek. So she was like freezing, and then she was begging for him to take her life because it said begging for him to stop the pain. There's no way in this world that girl wanted him to kill her.
That's exactly right.
I feel like I can say that. This is the only version we're getting, is his version of the story. That is what we get. And I think that probably enrages me the most, is now, you see this a lot in some of these cases where the victim's gone and we get one side of the story and that becomes the narrative.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not from Gabby. It's not from a courtroom. It's from Brian.
Yes.
And again, like we said earlier, there's multiple sides to a story. You have perception and you have the truth.
Yeah. And in a courtroom, they're going to take something like that and they're going to, run it through all the angles. And then they're going to get the person to testify to their account, which of course Brian can't do now. So then could get holes poked in it. You can get data to back up and corroborate different parts of the story. But none of that ever happened.
Questions asked.
Yeah.
None of that.
It's just out there and out there for the masses to consume. The FBI released all those. So those were unsealed and you could just read everything, which, by the way, if you are interested in seeing more of that, you can look in the show notes and you can go deeper into the episode on unspokentruthsmedia.com.
This was never challenged. Strangulation is not a momentary act. Like I said, it requires time, force, control.
Yeah. Power and right up and close.
Yes. Yes, it's a lot of rage.
It's not like you took a gun and you shot someone and you reacted in this like spontaneous thing. So it does talk a lot about intent as well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And this is the part that changes everything, because if you believe that version, if you believe the version that Brian put in the notebook, and that's what you take as the truth, you start to believe in something that should never be justified.
And because we don't have Gabby's version, she doesn't get to say that's not what happened or testify in her defense.
When the story ends like this, the narrative shifts from what was done to her to what he says happened.
And that, my friends, is how the truth gets rewritten.
Where things stand now, a lot has happened since Gabby died. And honestly, not all of it feels like closure.
There were lawsuits, some of them settled, some of them didn't go anywhere.
The Petito family was awarded $3 million early on, and then later they reached a settlement with the Laundries. And even in that, they said it was really just to avoid dragging everything out even longer.
And then there was the case against the police in Utah, that traffic stop we talked about earlier, the video, that case got dismissed.
So legally, a lot of it just kind of ends there. No real answers, no version of this that feels finished.
But that's not actually where the story ends, because her family didn't just walk away from this. They started the Gabby Petito Foundation. And it's not just in her name. It's real work they're doing, real work.
Yeah, they're helping families find missing people. They're putting money into domestic violence prevention. And honestly, just trying to get people to see the signs earlier than we did. Joe Petito, that's Gabby's dad, he's been working with lawmakers to push for those tools and to push for first responders to help assess those risks before they escalate into something. And so that's why I think, it's beautiful that this family who's been through so much can still take her her legacy forward
Mm-hmm.
and help other people. Because the goal now isn't just awareness, it's prevention. And that's a step that we want to take every time in our podcast here, is to talk about not just what happened, but how do we change what's coming next?
How do you fix it? How do you help?
Yeah. There's also this awesome golf tournament that's happening this summer. I saw the Gabby Petito Foundation's having. Please check out our website. Please look at the show notes. All the details are in there, and you can go and join, be a part of that organization. They actually have even these beautiful necklaces with Gabby's tattoo as the flowers on the necklace. And I thought it was so, I don't know, just love it.
Even when systems fail, families are left carrying the weight. But what comes after can still save lives. And that's why this case still bothers us too, because we all saw it and still didn't see it. And there are a lot of unanswered questions for all of us.
The truth is, though, we don't always recognize danger when it's happening. We don't always immediately see what that danger is when it looks like love.
What this really means is control doesn't start with violence. It starts quietly, subtly, and by the time it's obvious, it's already escalated.
People always ask, well, why didn't she leave?
Mm-hmm.
And that drives me insane.
Yes.
Because that is one of those hypocritical statements, those generalized statements that, oh, they should have just leave, like putting blame on the victim. But that question alone assumes that this was simple.
It's easy to judge from the outside until you realize how complicated it feels when you're inside it, until you go through a relationship.
Yeah. It's easy to also put it off on somebody else when you probably have some of those tendencies yourself.
You know, there was a saying one time that one of my managers told me in my early 20s. She said, when you're pointing your finger at somebody, you've got 3 pointing back at you.
Oh,
it's pretty awesome. But I know that there's women watching this right now thinking, this could be me, or this could have been me, or this is me.
Yeah. And pay attention to that. If you know someone that you think is going through this, just take a look at that relationship. Who has the power? Who's making up excuses for the other one more?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right. Who's shrinking? Who's becoming less of themselves? Something feels off. Trust your gut. Trust that.
Yeah. And I have definitely seen this in other people's relationships. And I know I didn't do anything. It's not my business.
Right.
But if it's someone you really care about, who's in your tribe,
yes,
you've got to be there to just maybe help them see something that they can't see. And if you can't do it, you also can go get help from somebody who can.
Yes.
And if you need those resources, please go to our website. We have them listed there. Until next time, friends.
Bye.
Because the truth matters. And so does how we treat each other. Stay kind. Stay curious. Stay safe. Until next time.